year was 1944. The tide of World War II was turning. The once indomitable Wehrmacht was in retreat on all fronts. The Allied air forces pounded German cities relentlessly. Amidst the ruins, the Nazi regime clung desperately to power. They pinned their hopes on a technological marvel, the V-2 rocket. It was a weapon of unprecedented power and range, capable of striking deep into enemy territory. But the V-2 had a fatal flaw. The V-2 rocket, a marvel of engineering, was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Developed during World War II, it represented a significant leap in rocket technology and warfare. It was the brainchild of Werner von Braun and his team of scientists. These brilliant minds worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in rocketry. Towering over 45 feet tall, the rocket could carry a ton of explosives. This immense payload made it a formidable weapon, capable of causing unprecedented destruction. It was capable of reaching speeds of over 3,500 miles per hour. This incredible velocity allowed it to strike targets with little to no warning, making it a terrifying tool of war. The V-2 could travel beyond the Earth's atmosphere, making it practically immune to interception. This ability to reach the edge of space was a groundbreaking achievement in the field of rocketry. However, its guidance system, a complex network of gyroscopes and analog computers, was notoriously unreliable. Despite the advanced technology, the system often failed to guide the rocket accurately. The rockets often veered off course, missing their targets by miles. This inaccuracy limited the effectiveness of the V-2 as a precision weapon. The Nazis needed a solution, and they found one, a horrific one. They turned to forced labor, using prisoners from concentration camps to build these rockets, a dark chapter in the history of technology and warfare. Deep within the Nazi bureaucracy, a sinister plan was hatched, Project Himmelsturz, or Project Skyfall. This project, shrouded in secrecy, aimed to solve the V-2's guidance problem in the most inhumane way imaginable. The plan was to use human beings as living guidance systems. Prisoners from concentration camps, chosen for their technical skills or simply for their expendability, were to be strapped into the nose cones of the rockets. Their task, to manually adjust the V-2's trajectory during the flight, ensuring it hit its target. This project was the epitome of Nazi cruelty, sacrificing human life for military gain. Mikhail Petrov, a Soviet fighter pilot captured during the Battle of Kursk, never thought he'd end up in a Nazi concentration camp. The Battle of Kursk was one of the largest tank battles in history, and Mikhail had flown numerous sorties, dodging enemy fire and protecting his comrades on the ground. But fate had other plans for him. A skilled aviator, he yearned for the sky. The cockpit was his sanctuary, a place where he felt truly alive, soaring above the chaos of war. Each mission was a testament to his bravery and skill, and he took pride in defending his homeland. But his captors saw a different use for his talents. Stripped of his uniform and dignity, Mikhail was reduced to a mere pawn in their sinister game. The Nazis were relentless, and they saw potential in his aviation expertise. He was pulled from the ranks of the emaciated prisoners and chosen for Project Himmelsturz. This secret project aimed to develop advanced rocket technology, and the Nazis believed Mikhail's skills could be exploited to further their cause. The Nazis, in their twisted logic, saw a cruel irony in using a Soviet pilot to rain destruction on his own people. They reveled in the thought of turning a hero into a harbinger of death, forcing him to betray everything he stood for. Mikhail, faced with an impossible choice, clung to a sliver of hope. Perhaps he could sabotage the rocket, sacrificing himself to save countless lives. The thought of his family and friends back home gave him the strength to endure the torment and devise a plan.
I must find a way to stop this madness. Mikhail's resolve hardened with each passing day, and he knew that his actions could change the course of the war. The weight of his responsibility was immense, but he was determined to act. Even if it cost me my life, I can't let them use me to kill my own people. The internal struggle was agonizing, but Mikhail's sense of duty and love for his country fueled his courage. He was ready to make the ultimate sacrifice to thwart the enemy's plans.
Section 5. Levi Abramson, a tailor's sacrifice.
Levi Abramson, a Polish Jew, was a tailor by trade. He was known in his community for his meticulous craftsmanship and the care he put into every stitch. He used to stitch dreams into fine garments, creating pieces that brought joy and pride to those who wore them. His hands were skilled, his mind sharp, and his heart full of hope. Now imprisoned in Buchenwald, he stitched together scraps of cloth to keep the cold at bay. The once vibrant fabrics he worked with were replaced by tattered remnants, yet his determination remained unbroken.
I was a far cry from the Nazis' idea of a pilot. My hands were meant for sewing, not for flying.
But Levi possessed something they desperately needed, an understanding of complex mechanical systems. His ability to repair and maintain machinery was unparalleled. He had, in his younger days, repaired sewing machines with an artisan's touch. This skill, honed over years of dedication, was now his lifeline.
This skill, seemingly mundane, made me a prime candidate for Project Himmelsturz. It was a project shrouded in secrecy, and my expertise was crucial.
Levi, thrust into a nightmare, found a different kind of courage. He faced unimaginable horrors, yet he held on to his humanity. He would fight for every breath, for every second of life, if only to defy his tormentors. His spirit, though battered, refused to be broken. Levi's sacrifice was not just in the work he did, but in the hope he kept alive. Section 6, Flights of Despair. The training for Project Himmelsturz was brutal. Prisoners, starved and sleep-deprived, were crammed into makeshift simulators. They were taught the rudimentary controls of the V2 rocket. The Nazis, obsessed with efficiency, cared little for their subjects' well-being. Many died during the training, their bodies discarded like broken tools.
Those who survived, like myself and Levi, found ourselves strapped into the cold, cramped confines of the V2's nose cone. We were launched into the sky, not as pilots, but as prisoners.
Each launch was a gamble, a roll of the dice with human lives at stake.
Section 7, Whispers of Horror. On the ground, Allied forces were baffled by the sudden increase in the V2's accuracy. Rumors of a terrifying new weapon, a rocket guided by human beings, began to circulate. These rumors were often dismissed as wartime propaganda, yet the evidence was mounting.
The wreckage of crashed V2S sometimes revealed human remains, strapped into the nose cone with crude harnesses. The Allies, horrified by this discovery, struggled to comprehend the depths of Nazi depravity. The truth, when it began to emerge, was more shocking than anything we could have imagined.
Section 8, Breaking the Silence. After the war, the full horror of Project Himmelsturz remained largely hidden from public view. The world, reeling from the atrocities of the Holocaust, was not ready to confront another dark chapter of Nazi cruelty. The Soviet Union, eager to bury its own wartime suffering, suppressed any mention of the project. Many of the survivors, traumatized by their experiences, chose to remain silent.
It wasn't until the fall of the Iron Curtain that the full scope of Project Himmelsturz began to emerge. Historians, poring over declassified documents and interviewing aging survivors, brought the story to light.
Section 9, Scars on History. The story of Project Himmelsturz serves as a chilling reminder of the depths of human cruelty. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable suffering. The victims of this horrific project, men like Mikhail Petrov and Levi Abramson, were stripped of their humanity and turned into instruments of war. Their stories, though painful to recount, must be remembered. They stand as a warning against the dangers of unchecked power and the dehumanizing nature of hatred and war. We must never forget their sacrifice.